Each week, Wells Fargo Bank brings us stories of athletes who have overcome adversity in their lives to succeed in school and in sports.
This week, Therese, we meet a Bellarmine roller hockey player whose story starts thousands of miles away in a small town in Russia. Senior year for Max Hightower means a final shot at college, working on his classwork, and having fun playing roller hockey. An all-American story that started thousands of miles away in a small Russian town.
What I mostly remember is growing up as a kid, and then I remember my parents were passed away, so I lived with my grandma, and I didn't meet my brother till I was about 3 or 4 years old. And after that, we lived with our grandma, and then she passed away, and we got moved to an orphanage.
Max spent 3 years in the orphanage with his older brother, hoping someday they would be adopted and live the life of normal children.
There was an organization there, they held a festival for all the Russian kids from our orphanage, and we came to Los Gatos. It was at Visona Park, that's where they held it. And we did a little like song and dance sort of thing, Russian stuff, and they had parents, people who wanted to adopt kids, to go over there and watch the plays and go to the festival, and that's how our parents met my brother and myself.
So after getting all the paperwork done, Max and his brother moved to Los Gatos. Max, a 9-year-old, had to learn a new language and a new culture as quickly as possible.
It was definitely tough. We were a little bit scared at the time, definitely, for all this new stuff going on around us, and we weren't used to it. But we just kind of adjusted to it as we went along.
The adjustments came quickly, and by the time Max entered Bellarmine Prep at 14, he was speaking fluent English with no sign of an accent. He joined the roller hockey team. As a poor child in Russia, his parents could never afford skates. Now he was living a great life in a top school with all the support he could want from his new parents.
Oh, it's been amazing, yeah. Just like any other kid, you know, growing up and having fun, going to school and doing just day-to-day things.
But that all changed last March for Max when his adoptive father suddenly passed away. Another parent lost. Someone Max had grown to love and respect, and now someone to remember as he goes through life.
It was definitely tough, and I felt like my dad raised me well, so I knew where to go on from there, and to make him proud, you know, to do all the things that he's taught me to do, and be doing good at school. I made a little promise to him that I do well at school, and I think that's working out.
Max is a captain on his roller hockey team, playing both goalie and skating out. The game has been a way for Max to be a part of a team, a family away from home.
I think what kind of propels Max is kind of an inner strength. He's trusts people, the adults, to help him, yet he's also independent and does make some good choices to better himself and work hard in school.
So that's probably like one of the most amazing stories I've heard. When I first met him, it was freshman year, I think in the spring. I never really knew much about his past, and when I found out that he grew up in Russia and in orphanages and things, it's amazing how far he's been able to come, be able to go to a private school, be able to have a really good chance of going to college and everything.
So Max skates on. He will head off to college next year while continuing to support his mom as she deals with the death of her husband. Max knows how she feels. With so much loss in his life, he can teach her how to persevere. Max says his grades have gotten better each year at Bellarmine, and he plans to go to college next year and maybe even major in Russian.
That's awesome, and Bellarmine's done a great job of helping him prepare for the college education.
They have, absolutely, and the interesting thing is he hasn't used his Russian, so he's lost it, but he figures he'll probably be able to get it back pretty quickly.
Just comes naturally, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.